This is Halloween weekend and we've come to a place that is steeped in 1,000 years of history. This place is Clitheroe in Lancashire and it's overlooked by the very mysterious and foreboding Pendle Hill. And this is Most Haunted Live.
Welcome to Most Haunted Live. Over the next 3 nights, we'll bring you a series of very special Halloween shows from what our research has revealed to be the most significant paranormal location in the country. That's right, we've come to Pendle Hill. It's a towering, looming mountain dominating the landscape here in Lancashire, and it's surrounded by deep and terrifying paranormal mythology. This weekend is particularly significant because tradition dictates that revellers gather on the top of Pendle Hill on Halloween night to witness powerful paranormal occurrences. And we're here to investigate those mysteries.
Over the next 3 nights, we'll be going in search of the infamous Pendle Witch Sabbat, trawling for spirits on the River Ribble and tracking the true history of local ghost Peg O'Neill, uncovering the truth about poltergeist activity in the local youth centre, which was once a graveyard. Join us on our amazing journey over the next 3 nights on Most Haunted Live.
Well, I can tell you it is going to be an extremely busy few days. So without further ado, let's meet the team. So please welcome on the sofa 2 men, as always, our favourite psychic and paranormal commentator, David Wells, and with him our sceptic and generally healthy breath of fresh air, Matthew Smith. Now, behind the books, our learned colleagues over here, our author and historian, Richard Jones, and with him our paranormal historian, Richard Felix. Good evening. And over on the other side of the stage, our interactive department, headed by that heartthrob of the southeast. Oh yes, it could only be Julian Clegg. But the linchpin of any paranormal investigation is the team with the nerves of steel. So please welcome Yvette Fielding, Derek Okora and Kieran O'Keefe. Good to see you. Very good to see you. Wow, what an entrance.
Hello, everyone. Fantastic.
Well, as you can hear, they're absolutely delighted to see all of you.
Thank you.
It's the first night of 3 nights.
Yes.
First of all, Pendle Hill, what does it mean to you,
Well,
Yvette?
geographically, it's fascinating because for thousands of years, many people have experienced all sorts of weird and wonderful things going on here. You know, UFOs have been seen here. It's a real hotbed of paranormal activity, and what better time to investigate it than over Halloween weekend?
Let's ask the man himself. Derek, what are you expecting tonight particularly?
David, something probably... Oh, I'm tongue-tied purely simply because the psychic energies and the spiritual energies surrounding us right now, and since early afternoon, I've never felt this before in any location, in any investigation.
Really?
So I feel something so special
He's been
is going to happen here.
funny all day.
Has he? I think that leads very nicely to you, Kieran. The question I want to ask you, are you nervous?
I'm not nervous, no. But I think tonight I'm going to be really, really excited. I'm just really looking forward to what's going to happen tonight.
Can I ask, are any of you nervous?
I'm terrified.
Why?
Because I know what's coming over the next 3 nights. I know of the locations, and there are some really, truly frightening places, and I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Okay, well, obviously the three of you make a lovely team, but of course there's more to the investigative team than just the three of you. I also know that the rest of the team are standing by in our first location. Shall we say hello to them?
Yes.
There they are. There they are. You see, they're all waiting. There they are, waiting for us to begin tonight's investigation. So, Yvette, why don't you tell us all about your team tonight?
Okay, here we go. Let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look at the stats.
Well, I always try and keep my cool, but unfortunately I do lose it. And the scariest place for me so far has been the Green Gate Brewery. Very frightening place. Dokakora, our spiritualist medium, and of course he's seen so many ghosts, but his scariest place, I think everybody will remember, Brannigan's in Manchester. Then Kieran O'Keefe, of course, our paranormal investigator, an open-minded skeptic, and his scariest place is the Edinburgh Vaults in Scotland. Carl Beattie, now he has seen so many things and heard so many things, and his scariest place for him is Chillingham Castle. Stuart Torrevell, who's our lighting rigger, he's a complete believer, has seen many things, a sensible person amongst us all, I think. Kath Howe, who's our makeup artist, poor Cash, she's always left in places on her own, and Brannigan's was also very frightening for her. And Sally Matthews, who's our floor manager, she's been to quite a few of these events now, but her scariest place is Woodchester Manor. And John Dibley, who's our cameraman, he had a very, very unpleasant experience at Belgrave Hall. And somebody new, John Gilbert, our sound recordist, has been with us on a couple of investigations, and he has experienced 6 strange, spooky things.
Well, Yvette, I can tell you it is time for your first location. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, please do give them a very big round of applause as they move to tonight's first location. Go on, give them a round of applause. Yvette Fielding, Derek Okora, Kieran O'Keefe. Into the dark night here in the depths of Lancashire. So, where are we? And more appropriately, why are we here? Well, we've based ourselves tonight in Britain's northwest. We're in historic and beautiful Lancashire. This is Clitheroe. It's a historic town at the top of the Pennines that nestles at the foot of the overbearing Pendle Hill. And it seems that hill has stamped its character onto the whole of this area.
Dark, ominous, foreboding. These are the fitting words to describe Pendle Hill. It rises like a gravestone from the peaceful valleys of Lancashire and casts a terrifying shadow across all who see it. The hill has been the epicentre of paranormal activity, with ghosts, monsters, lights, sounds, and horrific creatures dominating histories of the area. It is most famous, though, for the Pendle witch story, in which a group of locals were ruthlessly and savagely tried and hanged in Tudor times. 400 years later, the locals still speak in hushed tones about this dark part of their history. Pendle Hill stands like a paranormal beacon, touching all who see it with a sense of bleak sadness, of spiritual malaise, of dark fear. It is without doubt one of the most haunted places in Britain.
Well, tonight our whole investigation is based in Clitheroe itself. We're going to unravel some of those paranormal secrets right here. But before we join Yvette, Derek and the rest of the team at their first vigil, let's have a quick chat with our friend Julian and, of course, his interactive team to find out what's going on over on that side of tonight's operation.
Thanks, David, and it's great to be back. Now, if you're a regular viewer, you'll know that you can get involved in Most Haunted Live in a myriad of ways, and we really do rely on you. You're our eyes and ears on the paranormal world. If you're a new viewer tonight, let me explain how it works. First of all, we need you to monitor our webcams during the show, and there are 4 of them, and let us know if you witness anything out of the ordinary whilst the programme's on air. Tonight, all our cameras are in the Trinity Centre. Just so you know, the centre was built on the site of the old chapel cemetery and has been the focus for a host of paranormal activities. First of all, webcam 1 over there is in the attic. Webcam 2 and 3, so there's webcam 2, and then webcam 3 are in the gym, and webcam 4 is in the function room, and there it is. So please get online and get back to us if you notice anything going on during the programme, and you can contact us through our website, livingtv.co.uk/mosthauntedlive. Text us on 80088, starting the message haunted, then space MSG for message, and then your message, or fax us on 01200 425 737. Now, a quick word about the competitions this time round. These are always incredibly popular, and this time I hope will be no exception because we've got some great prizes for you tonight. First of all, a chance to win this. This is a Most Haunted Live, the complete Series 1, and I will show you what you're going to win, because there are all the discs. There you are, very impressed. And what is nice about this is the whole crew, apart from David, who hasn't signed it yet, but you're going to sign it in a minute, have signed the DVD, so you have the signatures of all the crew, Derek, Yvette, the whole gang on there. Also, and I'll fold it back up again later because it's a bit complicated, we've got the EMF, your very own EMF reader there. Look, a little light goes on there, like that, so that's rather groovy. And we've got the Most Haunted fleece, and this is unique as well, so a really nice prize, Most Haunted there. That could be yours as well. Now, all you have to do to win this is answer this question. Which of these has not been a Most Haunted Live location? Is it A, Stratford, B, London, or C, Edinburgh? Now, if you know the answer, call this number, 09015 33 9910. That's 09015 33 9910. All calls will cost you £1, and the winners will announce those at the end of the show. The lines, though, close at 11 o'clock, so get on those phones right now. David, back to you.
Thank you very much indeed, Julian. OK, it is time for our first experiment. Now, tomorrow night, of course, is Halloween itself, and we're going to be searching for the Pendle witches. This whole area around Pendle has been touched by the story for the last 400 years. The story revolves around two families whose distrust of each other spilt over into a fully fledged witch hunt. Many members of the families were arrested and eventually hanged. A week before the hanging, the families and the friends of the accused buried the hatchet, and they met somewhere in this area, and it's alleged that they cast spells, charms and rituals and dabbled with dark arts. This meeting of the Coven of Witches is called a Sabbat, and we're going to attempt to find the location where that Sabbat took place. Now, we need your help, and Julian's going to tell you how you can get involved.
So, thanks, David. We'd like you to use your remote viewing abilities to help us identify the location of that last coven. So go to the website, livingtv.co.uk/mosthauntedlive, and then find our Pendle Hill map. And then basically click where you feel on that map was the location of the last Sabbat. Now, according to psychic resonance theory, the sheer weight of numbers of people going online and clicking will help us locate the location where we're going to be tomorrow night. So it's really important as many people as possible go online to do this, because the more numbers statistically, the better it will be. So our studio audience are also going to mark on their maps where they think the location is, well, and then we'll mix them all together, the website and the studio audience later, and we'll update you at the end of the show. David.
Thanks very much indeed, Julian. Right, we're going to start our investigation right in the heart of Old Clitheroe. Over on the other side of the town from where we are stands Clitheroe Castle. It is a fine example of an early Norman building, and it is in amazing condition. And here's its story.
South of Clitheroe, in its most ancient quarter, lies Clitheroe Castle. It was built around 1186, rises up from a limestone outcrop, keeping a sinister yet watchful eye over the whole town. The scene of much bloodshed, the ruin has its fair share of ghosts. A ghostly hooded monk drifts along the pathway, head bowed, hands clasped, softly chanting. The ghost of a handsome man regularly wakes locals, drunkenly shouting and singing nearby. He is said to have murdered his mistress and some years later his wife. He was later brutally hanged. 3 royalist officers executed in 1647 restlessly prowl the grounds seeking their redemption. In this small castle, we open our investigation.
So that's the story of Clitheroe Castle, and it seems As though that Yvette and Derek have now reached that castle. They're preparing themselves for their first vigil. So let's go and join them now. Hi there, Yvette. Yvette, what are you feeling over there?
Okay. And it's the scariest thing you've ever seen.
Okay. And we're going to go up the stairs. Yes, I can hear you. Stand back, Lou.
Do you mind coming in that way?
OK, well, as you can see, they're still preparing to start tonight's vigil. They're in Clitheroe Castle. You've obviously heard the history there. And it is a really, really spooky place. And, of course, we'll open tonight's paranormal can of worms in just a few moments after this break. Well, welcome back to Most Haunted Live on this Halloween weekend. Now, Derek, Yvette and the investigators have arrived at Clitheroe Castle to start their vigil, so let's go and join them right now. Yvette, tell me, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling very nervous, actually. We're actually at the bottom of Clitheroe Castle, and it looks incredibly imposing. So what we're going to do is actually start walking up the stairs. It's quite a long flight of stairs there, and hopefully as we're going up, Derek, if you can maybe sort of open up and see if there's any impressions that come to you straight away.
Yes.
As I say, it's quite a long climb, and it is really quite a frightening place to look at because it's really quite dark. It's just a huge block of concrete, isn't it?
Yes,
with a massive hole in the side of it. Yeah, it is. It's enormous. So we're just going to go up here. Anything coming to you as you're walking up, Derek?
Well, yes, I mean, what's billowing down my ears here at the moment is if, you know, casting away the sounds from our crew here is, and it's still happening now, the stronger it's getting as we're getting higher. It's like as I'm hearing, and I've been hearing shouts, screaming, a lot of men, and they seem to be, the only way I can describe it is they seem to be fighting, and it's like as if they're fighting for their lives. And there's a lot of them, and this is definitely from the residual energy. It's like I feel as if speed. A lot of these men, the soldiers, it's if they're rushing away from here. There's a lot of them, they're screaming and they're shouting, and then it seems as if a lot of them are just, they've arrived. There's a fighting, people getting cut. The only way I can describe it, cut to pieces, and they're screaming, limbs taken away, and I can hear a lot of other voices screaming on top of these other screams. It's no two ways about this. It's like a Scottish accent of sound, screaming, and I can hear it's a feeling of men, Englishmen. So. It's
English
just
and Scottish.
Yeah, without
fighting.
a doubt.
Yeah.
Fighting, absolutely.
Do you want to go further? Oh my God. I'm not liking the look of this. Oh God. I don't like the look of this at all.
No.
Okay,
No.
be careful everyone. Right. Oh God, I hope there's no bats in here.
I don't think, well, there may be, but...
Oh, look at this. Isn't this amazing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, look, there's a door there.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah,
that.
Yeah. Look at it. Okay.
So are you still hearing the same things?
I can still hear the screams and the shouting and it's just, to me, it's one massive big fight battle. And it seems as if the Scottish voices seem to be overpowering the English voices. I'm also getting, you know who walks here?
Who?
Oh, right, now this is coming forward. This is not residual energy, this, Ivy. This is, I'm aware now of a male who is actually listening to us, and I know he's a frequent walker of this area. He's not alone either. There's a number of these spirit people. Are they all spirit men? They are. Thank you, Sam. What's that link? I was aware when we come through that gateway there, that area of mentally. The only way I can describe it, I feel like, you know, as if I'm linking in with. It's just like feeling a swashbuckling. It's like he's
So you're getting
he's cavalier. He's a cavalier.
Right, so you're getting two different types of, time
Residual
periods.
energy and time periods,
Right.
yeah. But this one, I feel, there's a couple of them. There might be 1, 2, or even 3 of these cavalier men that are actually grounded in these grounds of this area.
Do you feel them now? Are they in this
I know
in this
one of
area
them
now?
is listening to us. He's followed us in. Not the other 1 or 2, but one of them.
Can we ask him? Can we ask him maybe, do you reckon if we stood quietly, do you think he might do something?
I feel like he would. I don't feel there's great interest with him. I'm not picking up any anticipated, anger with this soul.
A name?
Can you see if you can get a name and the links with this spirit man, please, Sam? Sam's given his name as Charles. Charles? Is it Charles? Okay. Yes. 15. He's given 1547. 1547.
That's when he was here.
When he was here in the physical body. And, go on. Yes. I feel that there's 3 of them, Evie. He's got 2, I won't call them accomplices, he's got 2 friends that actually lost their physical lives very close to here, in these grounds here.
So not in this space here?
No, not in this space.
Out?
But for some reason, out there, yes.
Okay.
But they've come back in here when they were slain, and they've stayed here ever since. And, they move about. All round these grounds.
Can you describe them so we can verify if Cavalier and maybe the historians can
Okay.
uniforms and dress?
Actually, I feel not so much flamboyant, but I've got with the one that's listening to us, in the physical, this was a big man, strapping man, and also a great deal of facial hair under here, it's like moustache area, and here, and also a very, here, to the back of my shoulders and what have you, as if he'd either had an injury, because I feel as if I've been injured to my neck area in the spine, and I feel he survived that. Maybe this was in battle, and he was then not so much bent over, but his shoulders drooping.
Why would he come here? Why would he and his 2 comrades stay here in this particular place? Why are they grounded here?
I feel they're grounded here because I feel that they were killed. They were taken out of the physical body in a very cruel way. It wasn't just a conventional, fighting battle. I feel that they were dismembered. I feel they were cut to pieces, bless them, and the agony of the length of time it was before they died. So they've not moved on because of I feel the agony that they still feel on it.
Are you implying that they were perhaps prisoners? They were tortured?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Here?
Yes, they were.
So do you think if we were...
They were held here. They were held here. And this is what they can't forget. This is why they will not loosen their thoughts. It's like as if they want vengeance back to, what actually happened to them.
Is it worth asking out if we all stand still or not? Or
I
is that
do.
too soon, too early?
Well, I feel that we're going to get a reaction here.
Do you?
If not from this one, maybe the other 2 will join him. But he's been waiting for us, I feel.
Okay. Well, we're quite close to the road, so if we're really quiet, you might hear a motorbike or cars going by. But maybe if we can all stand still, and maybe if we can just be quiet for the
Charles and Jonas. Another one's called Jonas.
Right. Any
What?
surnames? Any
Can you give me...
surnames?
Sounds like Jonas Penn. Go on. It sounds like Pentalk. Pentalk? Pentalk or Pental? Pentalk.
Pentalk.
Pentalk. Jonas Pentalk.
Okay, so we've got a date, and
Yes.
you've given us a first name and a surname.
Yes.
Okay.
And can you give me any more, Sam, please? Jonas Littlejohn. Jonas Littlejohn. No, come on, say it again. That's my fault, Sam. Charles Littlejohn. Charles Littlejohn. Go on, can you give me the other one? Please, try your best to get it for me. Henry? 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 It sounds like McCabe. Henry McCabe.
McCabe. Okay.
It sounds like McCabe.
Okay. All right. Do you want to stand still for a little while?
Yes.
Then? Okay.
So make sure everybody's standing still.
Stand still, everyone. Yeah. As I say, there's lots of noise outside, so it's quite difficult. But we're listening for things in here. Do you want me to ask out?
Yes, please, yeah.
Okay.
I feel a bit of reaction because, you know, male, female.
Is there anybody here?
That's for Charles.
Charles? Charles, if you can hear me, please can you try and do something for us? Can you try and throw something? Can you try and move something? Can you try and touch one of us here? Please, Charles, if you can hear me. We know you died in torment. Please, if you want to talk to us, try and talk to Derek. Do anything at all, let us know that you're here. It just feels to me very, very quiet.
Yes.
And I think this is something, a sort of place that if you were here at say 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and everything was completely quiet,
Exactly.
I think you need concentration as well,
And
don't
you need
you?
everything quiet on the roads.
Yeah,
and just
exactly.
No other sound.
So David, I mean,
gosh.
what's the matter?
Oh, I've got a little boy here with me. Oh, look at him. Oh.
You can see him?
Yes.
Where is he?
He's here with me.
What, now?
Just here in front of me here. If he, oh, do you want, oh God,
What?
his face and his arms.
Tell me,
Oh,
tell me.
What is that, Sam? He's terribly disfigured. What is that?
Am I putting my hand right?
Yes, he's there.
Where?
Right there, Evie.
Where my
your
hand is?
hands are, his energy is there,
Shall
right
I
there.
stand right where it is?
Yes.
If I stand there, will I feel anything?
You should do. He should interlink with you. He's what is that, Sam? He's a little leper. He's got leprosy. He's a leper. And he's running round. He's running round in search of his mother.
Oh.
And his mother was here as well.
I can't feel anything.
She was in what? She was in. Go back. Yes, when? When was that, Sam? He is active, or is he? He's not coming from the residual. He is active. Go on. Give me a bit more. A bit more. 11, 6, 7. 11, 6, 7.
Okay.
Go on. And he's, I feel his mother and himself, she would have birthed him here. She would have been in some kind of service. And I feel his mother had leprosy as well.
And this all happened here?
Yes.
Watch your eyes for a second. I'm just going to take a couple of photos.
Okay. Watch your eyes.
Now his energy's now dispersed from there. But he's shown himself,
Oh,
he looked
God.
up.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All his face was disfigured, his arms.
What are you looking for, Kieran, when you take photographs
Well,
like that?
because a lot of paranormal groups catch light anomalies at haunted locations. Because Derek has pinpointed that point, I'm just seeing if we do pick anything up.
Talk. Listen.
There's
Okay,
nothing.
David, it's back to you in the studio. It's very, very quiet here. And I was just saying, this is somewhere that it would be fantastic to come and investigate, because obviously Derek's picking up on an awful lot. But it's somewhere that I think you need to come at, say, 4 o'clock in the morning when everything is completely so quiet.
Oh, is it? Oh, go on. The reason why what? Up there, is that what you're talking about? Okay, tell me it again. Okay. These spirit people that are around here, they want something of truth to be said, and their energies keep on wanting to talk about up here.
What, this hole at the top?
Yes, and apparently, they're saying here, please, it wasn't evil doing that caused that gape. That's the words. It wasn't evil doing that caused that gape.
So legend would have it that people believe that something awful happened. That's why the hole is there. But actually, it's probably just man-made.
It's man-made.
Right. Okay.
It is not evil doing.
Okay.
I'll pass that on, Sam.
Okay. Okay, David. See what you make of the information that we've already got.
Lovely, thank you very much, Yvette. So who are these three cavaliers? Who are Charles Littlejohn? Who is Jonas Pendle? Who is Henry McCain? And who is the little boy allegedly having leprosy searching for his mother? And what is the significance of the hole in the wall? Find out after this break.
Well, we're here up in the keep, and it really is quite an atmospheric place. But I just have to say that what's happened to the thermal imaging camera?
Well, Stuart and I double-checked the batteries before we came out on the investigation, and it's completely drained. It's just not going on at all.
There's no power.
No power. I'm going to double-check at the next location, but it's just not coming on, and it should last for about 2-3 hours.
Okay.
The battery.
And apparently things like that have happened in this specific area. How does everybody else feel? John, how do you feel?
I feel okay. I feel very cold, but it is cold anyway.
Okay.
So.
What about you, Stuart?
Apart from feeling very cold, at the moment I'm feeling okay, good spirits.
Okay, Kath, where's
Superb.
Kath?
I'm here.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
I'm fine.
Where are you? Oh, can't see you, it's that dark. You okay?
Yeah, I feel fine.
Yeah, Carl?
Yeah, I feel fine. It's a very atmospheric place, and I don't know if that's come across, but I feel fine. It's like
Okay.
something could happen, but it's just not happening yet.
All right. John on sound?
Yeah, I feel fine. It's cold. Nothing's happened yet, but
Okay.
we'll wait and see.
What I thought might be a good idea is if we go over to this side over
Yeah,
here, Derek,
yeah,
and maybe
okay.
try a little bit of psychometry.
Yes.
By putting your hand on the wall and maybe just
Okay.
seeing if you can pick up on anything else.
Oh, right, okay. It seems as if the feelings and the energies coming from this brickwork seems to be transporting thoughts. The only way I can describe it, suddenly I've been taken in mind to the Holy Land. The Holy Land. What that connection is, I don't know at this moment, but I'm also aware of a man's energies, a very important man, who would also be in visitation here. I don't feel he's grounded, but he comes throughout this area, this the only way I can describe a castle, and it's like his authority seems to be so strong, and he is the leader here, and he's come back, and he's so sorrowful. He's so sad. He walks around here so sad. And because he's blaming himself for something, he's blaming himself, and he knows he can't do anything about it. And it's like as if, as I take my hands off the energies of this brickwork, he's looking at himself, and he's saying, no, why? And suddenly he's seeing his hands and his arms buckle and change, and his face, I feel he was a very masculine, very, I suppose, he thought handsome and dapper, but to suddenly see these feelings, and he's doing this with his hands. Why is this happening to me? And it's like as if he's changed, and he's drooped over from this handsome man. And he, again, I've got this leprosy here. And he's blaming himself, it's like as if he's tormented. He walks around this area still tormented. And it's like his mind keeps on going back. I can't take it away from the forefront of my mind. He keeps on going back to the Holy Land, and he's blaming himself with something here. He's sorrowful, and his mind goes to another area. I've got to do something. I've got to do something in return. I've brought this, and no one knows it's me that I've brought this. And it's like as if he's in mind, he's scanning the area away from the castle. And he's saying, if I do this, it'll make me feel more content. And it's like as if he wants to help people. It's like the only way I can describe it, he's blaming himself for something to do with leprosy.
So he might have passed something on?
Did he bring this on? Sorry, Ev. Did he bring this? Yes. He's passed this on. And he's had to do something. And he was the what? He was the owner of This place? He was the owner of this castle.
What's his name?
Can you give me his name, please, Sam? Lee what? Lee something. Lee? Can you give me... keep trying, Sam. I can't quite make out what you're giving me. Lee something. Come on. Please. This is the 12th century, without a doubt.
Okay.
And, go on, say it again. He's proud of his hospital. He's proud of his hospital.
Right.
He's proud of his hospital.
So this would have been a hospital, is that what you're saying?
Was this a hospital, please, Sam? No. He can view the hospital. He knows where the hospital is. It's away. He can see it.
Okay.
But this is, yes. And I feel that the young lady and the child were in service. The spirit boy and the lady, the mother love, were in service to this master.
So it's all fitting in, everything that you're picking up, just from touching the wall. That's fantastic.
Yes, it's come from here.
Okay. Well, I think maybe, does everybody feel about moving on now and going to the next location?
Yeah.
If we go to the next location, which is Church Brow, what we're going to do now is join us after the break, because we're going to move out of here, go down the steps, get into the vehicle, and off we go to the next location, David, okay?
OK, thank you. But before we do go to the break, I just want to bring you in, David Wells. Now, you went to this location today. You picked up something very similar.
I certainly picked up on soldiers, and it was very, very important that I knew that it was a very small group of soldiers, and that was key to the whole thing.
Did you pick up the Cavaliers, as Derek did?
No, I couldn't see what they were wearing, because when I got them, they were kind of huddled around a fire. There was a significant relationship between three. I actually got 4 men, 2 of which were brothers, and there was a kind of, like, people had turned on them. So their own had turned on them. That was really the main thing.
Were they Scottish or English? Could you tell?
They were English. Yeah.
And and what about this hole in the wall? What's the myth behind that?
That the devil threw a boulder from Pendle Hill.
Okay.
Is the myth.
Okay. Did you pick anything up with that hole in the wall?
No.
All right. Matthew Smith, before I ask you about what we've picked up so far tonight, just tell me what qualifies you to sit on that sofa and to be a sceptic.
Well, for one, this term sceptic I think is often used in a very negative way, as though, oh, you're the sceptic. I think we should all be sceptical in a true sense and doubt things until we have evidence to support them. But in terms of my own qualifications, well, both Kieran and myself are involved in a parapsychology research group at Liverpool Hope University College. We're both trained as psychologists. This is one of our research areas. So I'm not saying I'm any more qualified than anybody else to be a sceptic. In fact, I think everybody should be sceptical of these kinds of claims until the evidence is there to support
What do you
them.
make of what you've seen so far?
There's some interesting stuff so far, particularly the fact that Derek has produced names. Again,
3 names?
Been interesting to find out if they do relate to some of the history of that location. The night is yet young, so there's more to look forward to.
OK, well, let's find out, as you say, about the history of this location. So, historians, first of all, Richard Jones, what about these names, or the Cavaliers? Firstly, Cavaliers.
Well, Cavaliers certainly were stationed there when the Royalist forces went north to relieve York. A section of them did go to Clitheroe Castle and stay at the castle, so certainly Cavaliers would have been there. And also the battle, and he picked up on Scots as well. And there was the Battle of Clitheroe in June 1138, when the forces of William Fitz-Duncan and the men of Galloway actually came south and invaded England. And the de Lacy family, who were the owners of the area at the time, although no mention of Clitheroe Castle is made in any account of the siege of Clitheroe, but they were certainly at the site, and they did meet, and there was a ferocious battle.
What about these 3 names, Charles Littlejohn, Jonas Pentor and Henry McCain?
Still nothing on those yet.
What about you, Richard Felix? You didn't seem particularly surprised that Derek had come up with 3 names quite so quickly, because it's unusual he gives us first name and surname.
Yeah, that's very good. Unfortunately, we can't as yet find those names, and of course everyone will start saying, oh, well, anybody can make those names up. But he can't win, because if he picks the names out and we've found them straight away, then, oh, they're in the guidebook. When we haven't picked any names out, or we can't find them, well, he made it up. But we've now got 3 more people recorded or reported that we didn't have before. How many people lived and died on that site that we will have no record of at all? But we have now.
Yes, that's a very good point indeed. Thank you very much for the moment. Julian.
David, well, we always like to receive your psychic art, and in fact we've got an experiment later on where we want to get very much involved in that, but it's already coming in. Here we are. This is from Lilith in Kirkbride. The name Robert comes connected to this man. He is noble but lonely. Keep those coming in. I'll give you the fax number in a little while. Already a tremendous response, over 3,000 sightings on the webcams already, which is brilliant, and 12,000 clicks on our Search for the Witch's Sabbath experiment. And let me explain how that works if you've just joined us. Tomorrow we're going to be guided by you in our hunt for the last meeting place of the legendary Pendle Witches' Coven, also known as a Sabbat. Now here's the map. When you go online, you'll get the map there, and we want you to click, basically, using your psychic abilities and intuition, put an X in the box where you feel the Sabbat was. And basically tomorrow that's where we're going. So 12,000 people have already done it. The more people who can go to livingtv.co.uk/Most Haunted Live, the better, because we get a bigger sample size, so please do that. Also, whilst you're online, also check out the EVP, or electronic voice phenomena, we've collected over the last few days. That's where some say the sounds of spirits or presences have manifested themselves on electronic sound recordings. Listen to this one, recorded by our team in Church Brow, which we're going to visit later. Have a listen to this. Now, already people going online to tell us what they think's going on there. Dee in Hayling Island can hear a man's voice with a soft Scottish accent saying, "I want you" on that track. Leanne and Ken, Newport, South Wales, both heard a clear American male voice on track 1 saying, "It's a warning." And Jane from Barnsley can hear what sounds like a woman saying, "Go away" on that same track there. So let us know what you think. Get in touch. First of all, the website, livingtv.co.uk/Most Haunted Live. Text us on 80088, starting your text haunted, then a space, then MSG for message, and then send us the message, or fax us. All your messages on the fax as well, gratefully received, 01200 425 737. Loads more and interactive to come later, but for the moment, David, back to you.
Thank you very much, Julian. It's good, isn't it? So much, so early. I have to tell you that Pendle Hill looms over Clitheroe, and a break looms over us, so don't go anywhere. See you in a few minutes' time. Well, welcome back. It has been a fantastic start to this very special Halloween Most Haunted Live. Now, if you have just joined us, over the next 3 nights, we're going to be investigating some of the hundreds of paranormal stories surrounding Pendle Hill. Now, tonight, we are looking at Clitheroe. It's a beautiful and picturesque pre-Roman town with a dark and mysterious haunted past. And Yvette and Derek are currently making their way to the second of tonight's locations. It's just next to our studio here, right in the middle of the town. It's the scene of one of the most enduring and mysterious paranormal presences that we have ever heard of.
Number 2 Church Brow was built around 1766. Once a grand house, it is now a bustling office. But behind the attractive facade, things are not at peace. The ghost of a young boy scares the living daylights out of staff, wreaks havoc in their workplace. He leaves unexplained typing on unattended PCs, scattering paperwork. And he often terrifies staff leaving work by waving from an upstairs window. When they return, all the rooms are deserted.
Well, I'm joined now by Simon Entwistle. He's a local ghost expert who knows more than most about this particular spirit. So tell me, what have most people reported seeing in that house?
It's a very, very sad story, actually. Way back in the early part of the last century, a young family bought the house, and they gave birth to a baby son. They loved him with all their hearts, and the poor lad died in 1907 of scarlet fever.
Right.
Many years later, a window cleaner placed his lad against the window and did in fact see a little boy waving from the corner of the room. And every single year he would go back there, and the young boy never ever aged. He was always the same age, and he had a diplomatic word with the occupants of the house, and they really and truly couldn't understand what he was talking about until they realised that it was their son who died many, many years previously.
Okay, so how many people have seen this little boy?
He's been seen by quite a few people, but a window cleaner in particular. Every time he would place the ladder against the window, he would clean the window, and the little boy was waving. And he's been there for many, many, many years.
And was that recently with the window cleaner?
We're looking at the middle of the last century, but certainly very much so in the early part of the last century.
And has anyone seen this little boy since then?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, well, we shall see, won't we, what happens tonight, because Yvette and Derek have now reached the location. They're on the ground floor of the two-storey building. So let's go and find out what Yvette is feeling. Yvette?
Hi, yeah, we're at number 2 Church Bar. We're on the ground floor, and what we thought we'd do is we'd actually climb the stairs and go straight up to 3 rooms we want to have a look at on the first floor. Now, Derek, I mean, I've not been to this particular property at all. It's just, it seems very nice. It doesn't have a sort of horrible feel to it whatsoever. But apparently many things have happened here.
Yes.
As you're walking up the stairs, is Sam giving you any information about what sort of things could happen here?
Well, firstly, what I am aware of, there's this feeling that's just surrounding me here. There's an apprehension.
What?
And there's an apprehension of feeling with me here. I think it's born out of the residual energy. I'm aware of a spirit woman's, very clearly of a spirit woman's movements up these stairs. And I don't know why at this moment, maybe we will find out, but of her feelings. There seems to be anger, there seems to be resentment, there seems to be as if she's... Again, I get that feeling that comes through me, thick and fast, of anger and resentment again. I know I'm repeating myself just because it's giving it to me. And also this unfinished, it's as if she's resenting why she had to leave her physical body, how she did. And I feel there's great feelings of sadness and torment. And I just feel that what she would do in her anger, moving through this house, this home, would be to cause conditions not unlike poltergeist activity.
Okay.
And I feel it's born out of her mostly. I can't tell how, but I feel she left her physical body. Did you hear something then?
I could have sworn I heard a rumble. You know, upstairs,
Okay,
like
yeah.
there was movement
Yeah.
upstairs.
It was from upstairs. Did anybody
Yes.
else?
Is anybody
hear that?
upstairs?
Yeah.
Who's upstairs? Is there anybody upstairs?
I don't think there's anyone.
There's
up there.
nobody else.
I heard something, but it's difficult to tell what level it was from.
Okay. It was like a proper rumble, like a
yeah.
quick boom.
Yeah.
Do you want to go through into this room here?
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Go on first. So a woman is causing poltergeist activity in here.
I feel she is. There's this, like, it goes... We haven't been throughout the house yet, but it's like a sway of energy, of resentment. And I feel her life was taken from her. And I feel she's holding on to this, this negative thought. I can't blame her, I suppose. It's like as if... You know, the only way I can describe it is as if someone was in judgment of her. In judgment. Now, I don't mean legal judgment. In some kind of judgment, and decided that no longer is she going to stay around. And I feel her life was taken away from her.
Oh.
And I'm also getting... There's a staleness in this atmosphere that comes maybe from above. Only when we get into that atmosphere... Did you hear something again?
What did you hear? Tell me what you heard, John. I didn't hear it. You didn't hear it too? Did somebody just go...
It was like somebody... It was like a moving of weight on wooden floorboards.
Yeah.
Where did you hear it from? Which direction?
It came from behind
yeah,
me.
behind over there.
Did anybody move behind?
No, there's nothing behind me either.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I tell you what, why don't we just stand really quietly and just become accustomed, just for a few seconds. Everybody stand quickly.
Everyone stand absolutely still, please. Nothing.
Okay.
I've got something coming around my neck.
What?
Oh, is this linked with this woman? I feel it's like it's a strangulation of some kind with her. That's how she's lost her life. There's something round her neck. And her memory of this. And she's detesting it, and she's... all the staleness is around me here.
Is she here in this room with us now?
I feel she's aware she is around.
Okay.
She's around and she's aware that we're here.
Is there anybody here in this room with us now? If you're a woman, female astral being, and you want to talk to us, try and communicate with us, try and talk through Derek. Can you try and make a noise? Can you make some of the papers move off the table?
Alice!
You right?
Yes,
You're
yes,
right?
I'm okay, Evie, I'm okay, honestly. Alice. She wants to get that through, Alice. Oh, she's resentful. She's angered.
Does she mind us being here?
I don't feel she's unhappy that we're here, but she's looking at us with as if a we of danger to her, a we of danger to her. And it's like she's weighing us up. She's weighing us up.
Did that computer's just change colour? Why would that happen? Did anybody else notice that?
I didn't notice that because I hadn't got
Well,
back to it.
Kieran, do you want to, because I know you wanted to do something with this computer.
Yeah, I'll do that now.
Okay, just explain what's happened here.
Basically, some of the phenomena that office staff and cleaning staff have experienced is the computers will be on, there'll be nothing on the screen, and then gobbledygook will just appear on the screen.
I'm not just saying it because I did know the story of the computer, but to me, I don't know if anybody noticed it, but I know you turned round, Kieran.
Yeah.
But to me, it was almost like the lights had just changed colour.
It's difficult to tell because we are standing here and even a slight movement.
Do you want to type something in?
Yeah, well, I'll type the favourite question.
What are you going to type in?
Is anybody there? And then just leave it.
Leave it.
Maybe we can check back.
Gosh, how
And
freaky
then
would
I'll
that be?
I'll unplug the keyboard as well to make sure that nobody can come in and tamper with it.
Okay. Oh, can you imagine if something was written on that when we came back down? How freaky would that be?
Yeah.
That'd be really. So Alice.
Alice.
Alice is here.
Yes.
She's in this. She's in this building now.
Yeah, well, I feel her energy's in this building right now.
Okay. Do you want to go through to another room?
Can we please,
Okay.
yeah,
David, we're going to go into a different room, David. While we're doing that, I don't know if there's any historical records of an Alice being here in this property. And we did definitely hear rumbling above us. We'll go and investigate upstairs a little bit later on.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much indeed, Yvette. So this poltergeist activity, a woman Derek's picking up, he felt that her life had been taken away from her, possibly strangled, and is her name Alice? We'll find out after this break. Well, welcome back to Most Haunted Live. Now, we're going to try a new experiment tonight. It's called automatic writing, and we want you at home to help us identify the name or any other information about the Church Brow boy, or indeed about any other spirits in that house. So, David Wells, how does this actually work?
Oh, well, automatic writing is when you clearly have a pen and paper with you. It's best to use your left hand if you're right-handed, your right hand if you're left-handed.
So you can't influence it?
Yeah. And it's just a case of sitting, emptying your mind and allowing the pen to move in a sense. It's not even controlling. It's not even saying, OK, I'm going to draw a cat. It's a case of just letting it move. Initially, you do get a lot of squiggles, which is what Matthew's going to tell you, legible.
What do you think of this automatic writing?
Well, again, there's lots of examples historically that seem to suggest that when people engage in this, they're able to either produce either works, writing or pictures that they claim they don't have any ability, so it's not coming from their own conscious mind. It'd be very interesting to see what David comes up with tonight. Well, I'll sit on the fence regarding this one just now. We'll see what happens.
I'm not surprised for one moment, Matthew, for the moment. I will push you on that in a bit. And Julian, tell us how can viewers at home take part in this?
Well, David, this is how it works. If a word, phrase or a picture comes to mind, we want you to let us know. So first of all, you can contact us through the website, and that's livingtv.co.uk/mosthauntedlive. Text us, please, on 80088, starting the message haunted, then space, then MSG for message, and then your message, or fax. And of course, that's very important. You're going to send us your psychic art or words that you've written to the fax number. Here's the all-important number: 01200 425 737. Now, also tonight, interestingly, we've got members of the audience doing this as well. Let's have a look at them down there in the audience right now. They're going to have a go at this. So, as David was saying, right with your left hand if you're right-handed, right hand if you're left-handed. So they're going to have a go at that. We'll compare and contrast their efforts a little bit later on in the programme as well. And just a few things coming through on the text. Lots of response at the moment. But, for example, Nick and Michelle in East Lancashire have heard bagpipes playing up at the castle when Derek was talking. Paul from Derby saw an orb behind Yvette's head at 9:25, and just before 10 o'clock, Andy Phillips from Redditch heard a voice saying, "Show yourself," when Derek said he heard something in the room. So thank you for all those. Keep them coming, and more a bit later. David, back to you.
Thank you, Julie. I'm just watching the members of our audience over there emptying their minds. It's quite a sight. Now, I can also tell you that Yvette and Derek have just reached the second position at Church Brown. Now, they are now on the first floor, where most of the activity has been seen, and that's where the boy was regularly seen, looking through the window. So let's find out from Yvette what's going on. Yvette, since we've taken our leave from you, has Derek picked up anything about this little boy?
Nothing as yet, and obviously I can't say anything.
No, sure.
So, yeah, hopefully we've got our fingers crossed and see if anything comes forward. But at the moment we're concentrating on the lady Alice, and Derek was picking up on...
Yes, have you got anything more about Alice? This, I mean, Derek said just before the break that he felt that her life had been taken away from her and she had been strangled. Any more on that?
No, and what Derek was just saying whilst we were... You were talking, Derek was actually saying it's a good idea if I ask out, possibly because I'm a woman, or...
Absolutely, yes, and, you know, I think that if she's going to respond, she's going to respond directly to you.
And you think that she will respond?
I'm hopeful, Ivy.
Yeah,
why don't you actually do that, Yvette? That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Okay.
Why don't you do that?
All right, well, we'll do that now, OK? All right, so everybody stand still and be really quiet and try and concentrate. Derek, you completely concentrate and you're hopeful. OK. Alice, if there's a spirit of Alice here in this room... Alice, can you hear me?
Yeah, that?
It was a rumble again.
It was.
I heard it.
You did?
Yes. It was like above.
Where, John, tell me where you heard it.
It's difficult for me to work out where it's coming from because the mic's pointing down there, but I looked round. My first instinct was that it was coming from there, but there's no one stood behind us, and the mic was pointing.
That's weird. I'll ask again. I'll ask again. Okay.
Could have been a response.
Let me point the mic up at the ceiling.
Okay.
She's upstairs.
Alice, can you hear me? If there is a spirit woman here in this house, please can you come forward? Please can you make a noise? Can you shout out? Can you try and talk to us? Touch one of the people here. If you can see us or hear my voice, please try and talk to us. Try and make a noise. Try and walk towards us. Give us any sign at all. Knock on the door, knock on the wall, move something, anything at all. Alice, please. Please try and talk to us. If there is another astral being here in this room, whether you be a male, female, a child, please give us a sign, any sign at all that you can hear my voice. Please come forward. Use Derek as a way of communicating, or try and touch one of us, talk to one of us, do anything at all. We'll remain silent. Please, can you give us a sign?
You're all right. It's okay. Sorry. It's under the door.
Do I keep talking?
Yeah, please
keep
talking.
Alice, if you can hear my voice, were you murdered, Alice? If you were and you want to talk to us, we can help you. We can help you move on. Please, if
Who's that?
I heard a footstep, but
Yeah.
it could have been John just
Yeah,
moving
yeah.
there. Alice, if you can hear me, please try and talk to us. If I knock on this table, please can you reply by knocking on a wall, on a door, anything? If there is a presence here in this house that needs our help, we can help you. Please come forward. We're here to help you. Please give us a sign, any sign at all. We're not here to mock you or harm you. Please try and touch one of the women, one of the men here. Give them a sign, let them know that you're here amongst us. Make the temperature drop. Show yourself by light form, anything. Please, we're calling out to you if there's anybody here that can hear me. Anything, Derek?
No, continue on, Ivy. Come on, I'm opening and asking also.
If there are any other women here in this building, any astral beings, spirits, any presence, do you feel trapped? Do you need our help? We're here. If you can hear me, I know you can hear me, please come forward. Please try very hard. I heard a bang.
Yeah,
I heard
it was
a
here.
And it
It was
came
here.
over that way.
It was
You
here
did?
behind us,
It came
yeah.
from over that way.
Over here.
Behind you.
Yeah.
Definitely behind you.
Yeah.
It
To me, it sounded like as if it was on the window.
Really?
Yeah.
Just double checking.
Is there anybody by the window? If there is, please do that again. Please give us another sign. Please move something. Make the sign bigger so that we know that you are here. We can't help you unless you give us a big sign. Let us know that you're here. I'm talking to you. Please do me the honour of talking back. Can you rap on the window for us? Should we move out of this room and try
Can we move just
Yeah.
a little bit further on? Yeah. Okay.
I've definitely heard of.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That window. Again, as you were speaking, it was a response.
Okay, I think while we're moving to the next room would be a good idea to actually is to, I know we're doing automatic handwriting, maybe if we called David Wells over
Yeah,
to the location,
yeah.
maybe if we set David in a certain room. What was
Did you
that
hear
bang
this,
again?
though? It was here. It was behind us.
Oh, I don't like that. I'm going first. Oh, sorry.
right?
No, it's
Okay.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
It's
Sorry.
alright. Okay. Go in here.
Oh my God, it's so dark.
Come on, you're okay. Oh God! Oh my God!
What's the matter? What's
oh
the matter?
my God!
I heard there was a
Ivy,
noise there to the
I can
right hand
see
side.
a
What
soul.
are you seeing? What are you seeing?
I've not seen anything like this before, ever.
What are you seeing?
What is this? There's an energy in this room that is not of this earth and is not of the living plane of life.
What do you mean?
Oh my God!
What's through there? Kieran, don't do this so suddenly.
I saw then, just for a couple of seconds after that noise, a soul, you know, the only way I can describe it is the only way I can say it is like alien.
What?
Not. I know the soul I've just seen has not come to this earth and has been born here. We've got someone of a higher intelligence, an energy of so high intelligence that is in here. The soul in height is energy, and I know it, to me, was masculine. And empathy in the eyes was just absolutely, it was a solitary look, a feeling of justice, no harm to us. And there are a number of them. There are a number of these souls that haven't moved on.
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? And what kind of souls? What
This
are you
is
talking
like, I feel beings that have never been actually born here. That is the...
But they died here, is that what you're
Yes.
implying?
They've never, ever... there's a group of them. There's a group of them.
I heard a noise as
yes.
we came in there.
It's because
just by that door.
And it happened, and he was standing there for those couple of seconds, and he just dispersed in his energy. No threat whatsoever to us, I feel, but just an awareness and a sadness connected in the eyes. It was like, I've not seen anything like that ever before, up to date in an investigation of a soul that was totally, the feelings coming over, transporting to me, was so far more intelligent.
What did it look like then?
To me, a very,
Like
very...
human?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, that's beyond me. I
No,
can't.
well, he was here, and I know it sounds ludicrous, Evie, and, you know, on everyday part of my life, if I talked about what I've just seen then, well, people would generally not believe it. And that being, his energy is here in this house.
So did it have a face?
Yes. This soul was no taller than this. Very, very, very slim. So slim. And yet, I felt the coloration, even though we were in the dark, is as if I got a two-tone colour to his arms area. Very thin. Firstly, it was like a grey, and then going to a blue colour. It was like changing. And the eyes were very, very large and very... The feelings... It's okay. It's all right, Evie. It's okay. It's just something...
Okay, sorry.
And I feel that he's coming here. He doesn't belong in here. He's coming... I feel he's followed us in. And I feel there are a group of others that have lost their lives, and he joins up with them.
And they're here now in this house.
He causes lights and all kinds of things to happen in here. There's like an illumination.
Well, I saw in the other room, I saw a quick flash of light, but I presumed it could have been outside in a car. Yeah. What I'd like to do is, as I was saying before we heard the noise, is that I think David Wells should come over here, sit in the room where the computer is, and maybe do some automatic handwriting. Is that possible at all, David? Can we do that?
Yes, it's more than possible,
Okay.
actually. But before we do that, David Wells, you're a medium. What do you make of this? Derek says he's seen an image not of this earth.
Well, you know, I've never personally come across this the way that Derek has, but what I would like to say is two things, actually. Derek's describing classic, what are called greys, big eyes, the grey skin, the very slim bodies, the big head. But I have actually, in some of my other work, done a past life regression for someone who regressed to a life as a grey and described the same shape and form as Derek. So that's the only encounter I've had with it via past life regression.
Let me ask you a very testing question. Do you think Derek is making this up?
No, because I think Derek wouldn't make this kind of thing up because he knows that, particularly with this, he's going to attach a lot of ridicule, and he's very brave to say that that's what he saw.
So you think he's absolutely...
I'm
he's saying he believes he sees?
Absolutely, absolutely.
OK, well, David, it is time for you to work for your living. So, ladies and gentlemen, please applaud him as he leaves for our investigation team. Well, this programme gets stranger and stranger. An image not of this earth. What on earth can that be? Let's hope we find out after this break. I cannot quite believe what I saw just before the break. Derek believes that he saw an alien form here on Most Haunted Live at the location that they're currently investigating. So let's see exactly what Derek thinks he saw.
The only way I can describe it is the only way I can say it is like alien.
What?
I know the soul I've just seen has not come to this earth and has been born here. We've got someone of a higher intelligence.
Well, what do you make of that? Let me ask our audience very quickly, actually. Hands up who believes that he has actually seen an alien presence. Just stick your hands up in the air. Who thinks he hasn't? Well, the majority. But what do you think at home? Has Derek seen an alien? If you think he has, text text the word haunted, then space, then yes, or text haunted space no to 83088. Okay, text haunted space yes or haunted space no to 83088, and those votes cost you 50p. Okay, so did he see an alien? That's what we want to know. Okay, let me just ask you, Richard Felix, aliens?
Possible. I mean, are we so bigoted and self-centred as to think we are the only inhabited planet in the universe and beyond the universe? I mean, I think there probably are, but there is a possibility that Derek could have seen a boggart.
A what?
A boggart.
What's a boggart?
Which is actually a demonic, half-man, half-beast type figure that goes back into mythology and was seen certainly in the 14th century, and it was seen very close to where that house is, in St Mary's Well, which is almost next door. And it was half-man, half-beast. I don't know, is that what Derek's seen? You see, people years and years ago used to say things were supernatural because they didn't understand them. Perhaps Derek is now seeing something that perhaps even he doesn't understand, that he actually thinks is from another planet.
It's a great point, Richard.
Isn't
Thank
it?
you for
Yeah.
that. Okay, well, let's go and rejoin them as they continue their vigil.
Okay, well, I'm here and with David Wells. Now, you've started the automatic handwriting. Just describe exactly what's happening.
Well, this is fairly typical. While I'm trying to tune in, you see that it's just complete utter squiggles. But my hand, you saw earlier, it's not doing it now, but it was jumping, and that was completely involuntary. My hand was literally jumping. It wasn't me controlling it at all. The more I'm talking to you, I'm using my conscious mind. But once I empty out again,
okay.
But there are loads of impressions coming into my head. One of a rocking horse that I think they may want me to draw, but this is typical of this sort of thing right now, while we just get a gauge of each other, because remember, they're working through me.
Are you picking up, just very quickly, because I'm going to leave you in a second, Are you picking up... Ooh.
It's mad.
Are you picking up on anything specific in this house? Any being here?
The only thing I am picking up on is at the moment is grief. There's a lot of grief attached to the house. The rocking horse is significant in that this room may have had a rocking horse in it. But there's other things. I can hear songs being played in my ear, like nursery rhymes being played in my ear as well.
Okay, I'm going to leave you to it. Okay,
yeah.
And Carl is with you, and if anything happens, then just shout out. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go off back with Derek and Kieran and continue, and we're going to go up onto the top floor. Now, earlier on, we actually did hear some rumbling noises. What? God, don't do that to me. Gosh. Right, okay, right. All right, you with me? Sorry, you freaked me out then, Carl. Okay, now we want to go upstairs, and apparently this is the way in. So. Oh my word! Look at that. Okay, do you want to go first, or shall I go first? We'll go first, yeah. Okay. Do you want to go first, Derek?
Okay.
Watch your head.
Watch your head, yeah. Just looks like a little cubby hole, doesn't it? You don't think?
Are you following this?
No, this is where we heard the rumblings coming from earlier on.
Oh, this is very active at times.
Just going to turn this off. Oh no. Oh my God, where are you?
Okay,
Where are
here.
you?
We're okay here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the attic part here.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's chilly, and it could be because it's an attic area, but I'm aware that this is active, and the residual energy that I'm picking up here now suggests to me that those noises and whatever whilst we were downstairs were coming from here.
Okay.
This being that was downstairs also, but I feel, you know, as if I talked about a group of them. I was aware that he belonged to a group, maybe a group of 4 or 5. I don't feel it goes beyond that. And the more we're in this atmosphere, the more, you see, my mind is maybe they're placing this into my mind. It takes me away from this building, and they show me mentally an area. It's by the water. It's running water, and it's like I'm seeing, you know, the height. I don't know whether this is Pendle Hill, but it's like water and looking up, and I feel. Did you hear that then? Who was that?
Who's tapping that? Were you tapping something? That was this. It was. Okay, fine.
Okay. And I feel as if they reflect back to an out area by water where something happened there, where they were either grounded and they came. I can't tell whether they came naturally by foot. I feel like they can just, by thought, move.
But what's the connection with these, what you're saying?
Yes.
With this particular property? I don't understand.
Maybe I feel it's where this property is before this property was built, because I feel there's an attachment to them, whatever was here when they either landed, come to the earth, and well, like everything else, there was an attraction to come to this area. It's like as if my mind changes from this building to an area, it's like of cover.
And you're saying they're definitely alien, but not something like a boggart or anything else?
No way, no.
Okay.
This, and you know, this is my first experience in all the investigations of years that I've had the privilege to see. I'd be shown a being of this nature.
Can you actually try and communicate with this being?
Well,
Can you
think
open yourself?
mentally, I was thinking about this downstairs, and I'd like to try that.
Okay, do you want to try it now?
Yeah.
Does that mean we just have to be totally quiet?
Just quiet, yes,
Not
please.
say anything?
No.
Okay.
There could be, whilst I'm doing that, there could be response within the atmosphere and the ether.
Okay.
If anyone does experience something that, you know, they're not used to, please say so, because that would be the energy coming round. And I feel it's the mentality rather than the voice that they would pick up on. I feel also what's been transported through to me here is that for some reason these beings are grouped together, and they are colour. The different colours mean so much to them. Colours is a communication. Colours are transported as communication with them. So I feel that in any communication, colours would be used, or they would find it easy or easier to communicate through colours, because I'm getting a mixed array of colours being placed, and I know it's by this being placed in the forefront of my mind, and it seems to be going from dark colours and lightening up, and then we go to another. It's like going from, as an example, a blue, and then going right the way through the spectrum of the blues, and then coming into an orange, and going through the lighter colours from the dark, then going through the green, and then coming through a sequence of green colours. And it seems to be in rows like this. It's being placed in front of me. Did you feel that?
Oh!
Are you okay?
Something just tugged the back of my coat.
Yeah, okay. Well, there was an energy around you, and I feel it was, whether it's this being, I don't know, but I felt the rush past you. And I thought it just went past you, so he's tugged on you. Okay, so don't be worried. Look, this is a very kindred soul. The energy's not bad at all.
Like this, Kieran. I'll just show you. It was just... Did you feel that?
Yeah,
just
sharp
just
tug.
like
Sharp
that
tug,
on
as
the
though
back of my
somebody's
coat.
pulled the back
Yeah.
of your coat. And where you were standing, there was nobody behind here. We were the first people up here. So.
Yeah.
I did.
That energy.
You know me. I'm not.
Yeah.
I did feel it.
I felt the energy go past me. Okay, so I knew come round you. I wasn't aware of what he did, but I feel that is a response to you. It's not a bad thing. Okay. Can you do that again if you can understand my language? I'm sure you can do that. Can you do something likewise to another member of the crew? We'd really appreciate it. Sam, can you encourage the soul?
Anything on the monitors?
Yeah, I actually recorded the readings Derek and I were getting downstairs and up here because there is fluctuating. It goes from 0.61 milligauss, there's 1.11 for the x-axis. There it goes up to 2.56, so we've got a lot of fluctuation. So maybe later on this weekend set up some sort of flux magnetometer or something to at least get more detailed readings.
Yeah.
So something is in this room now.
There's most definitely a soul that's, I firmly believe, is of another world, extraterrestrial, whatever, from a different dimension. But again...
I know what you're saying.
Yes.
I just find that so difficult to get into my head, do you know what I mean?
Well, up to that experience, I would have found it getting difficult into my head. You know the way I talk about spirit people and what have you, and your communications with them, but to see that has taken me back. It's taken me back in time.
Have you said anything at this point about where you think they're from?
Well, they're certainly not from our planet, our life system.
So
I feel from a realm that might not necessarily be, again, this may sound absolutely ludicrous, but maybe not a planet, a physical planet that's in existence within our knowledge, possibly a dimension that is working,
right.
An invisible dimension.
Because what we want is phenomena like the vet experience, because that's evidence. The information you're giving is really difficult to verify, so if we can try and ask for some more phenomena.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Whilst we're doing that, before we leave, I just want to say we're going to move to the next location now, and we're going to leave David and Carl here.
Right,
I think that'd be a really good idea.
Yeah, I do.
And maybe they can ask out for more phenomena, and hopefully we'll record it and we'll speak to them live as well. So that's what we're going to do, David. I have to say, I really did feel. I know Matthew will say, "Oh, well, it's probably she felt it herself," but I did. I had a definite tug on the back of my coat, and no one was standing behind me. Very strange.
All right, thank you, Matthew. Did she just make it up?
No, I don't think she's making it up. I think she's had an experience. I think, again, as I often do say, what we're looking at is how people interpret these experiences. Not being there, at least with Kieran there, he's sort of able to verify there didn't seem to be anybody behind her. But it's not very strong evidence because you're just relying on her testimony.
The possibility that Derek believes that he is actually seeing, as he says, an image not of this earth?
I think I, like probably most people here and in the audience, are quite surprised by the fact that he's made that interpretation. And it was also of interest to note that in this audience, that when people were asked to say, well, how many of you believe that maybe he's in touch or seeing an alien, far fewer hands would go up than if they're saying, well, how many of you would believe he's seeing a ghost? So
that's a really interesting point.
Again, at least amongst this kind of group of people, we're getting a very different belief system there. And here we're expecting to kind of see ghosts and expecting Derek to pick up on spirits of dead people, not spirits of aliens.
Yeah.
So.
But what do you think at home? If you think Derek has seen an alien, then text the word haunted space yes to 83088. If you think no, text the word haunted space no to 83088, and those texts cost you 50p. Now, Julian, what are people saying at home?
Well, I can tell you the very first most haunted vote is going incredibly well, by the way, and obviously we'll update you on the result of that a little bit later on. The boy in Church Brow, what's he look like? Well, we've had automatic handwriting coming through, and there's an example from Noel in Violet Hill. Also, John is one of the names suggested there by Lisa Kale in Manchester, and thank you very much indeed to everyone. That's a good example, actually, of automatic handwriting there. Now, don't forget our competition. Great prizes. The fleece. We've got the signed DVD, signed by all the crew, and the EMF reader. And the question is, which of these has not been a most haunted live location? Is it A, Stratford, B, London, or C, Edinburgh? Now, if you know the answer, call very quickly. There's only minutes left on this. 09015 339910. That's 09015 339910. Or Sky viewers, please press those red buttons straight away to win those lovely prizes. And also, don't forget to go to the website to click on our map, very importantly, because we want to know where that last Pendle Hill Witches' Coven was. Go to the website, Most Haunted Live, livingtv.co.uk/Most Haunted Live. You click on here. 25,000 people have already done this, but we need more because it's a bigger sample size than where we're going to be tomorrow night. So go on the website, click on the map, and we'll update you on that a little bit later on. So what's happening next, David?
Well, I will tell you, 25,000 though.
Yeah,
That's
it's not bad, it's
fantastic.
brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Well, what is happening next is that Yvette, Derek and the rest of the team are now heading to the next location. It's in South Clitheroe and is now known as the Trinity Centre. Now, it's said to have vast amounts of paranormal activity because the building, wait for this, was constructed on the site of an old cemetery. Now, to help them with their investigation, we are going to ask one of our studio audience to join them, okay? Now, what I can tell you, I'm looking around the studio audience because they're all looking rather apprehensive, okay? So now, looking at all of you, what I can tell you is that earlier today, we put all of their names into a hat, and what we did, we drew out one lucky or perhaps unlucky name out of that hat. And I can tell you that the person joining our investigative team tonight is Joshua Robinson. Joshua, stand up. Give him a round of applause. Now, Joshua, go and join Neil. He'll take you out to our investigation team. OK, now Neil's taking him out to the paranormal hotspot, which is known as the Trinity Centre. So as he goes to join our investigative team tonight, I can tell you the paranormal activity continues to come thick and fast. I'm telling you, it is all kicking off. It's only on Most Haunted Live, and it's only on the other side of this break. Well, welcome back to Most Haunted Live. Things are really beginning to hot up tonight in our Pendle Hill Halloween Most Haunted Live special. OK, this is the scoop. Now, we are investigating in the Pendle Hill area of Lancashire, which is a powerful paranormal hotspot. Tonight, we are in the pre-Roman town of Clitheroe, and Yvette, Derek and the rest of the team have already investigated the castle with amazing results. And they've also been looking into the mystery of the ghost boy from Church Brow, but they've found a lot more besides. They're also now making their way to what used to be the Old Chapel Cemetery. It's now a very paranormally active community centre. So, what can they expect tonight? Well, here's its story.
Today, these buildings house a thriving youth centre, but underneath the foundations lies a dark secret. For 500 years, this was a graveyard. A shadowy apparition prowls the alleyway, and paranormal activity is rife throughout the building. Lights flicker and regularly fail. An oppressive presence in the attic office terrifies the workers. Strange and nauseating smells permeate the corridors. Also, a mischievous spirit child shouts, squeals, slams doors, and plays with the climbing ropes.
Well, this is now Ava Rushworth. She actually works in the Trinity Centre. So tell me, Ava, what sort of things are people reporting that they've seen?
There's been reports of staff seeing a young girl, but nobody knows who the girl is. There's obviously children in the centre quite often, but nobody's taken that child there.
And why do they think that this girl might be paranormal? Because of what she's wearing or something else?
It's just glances rather than actually seeing what she looks like. She's not there long enough for anyone to pin down what it is.
And do people tend to report the same sort of thing with the girl? The same sort of age or whatever?
There's more talk around surrounding. There's always a strong smell of sick and things in the building, which is put down to the girl.
Okay, and have you seen this little girl?
I've never seen the girl. I've smelt the sick and lots of other things.
You've smelt what?
I've smelt the strong smell of vomit in the centre.
But what's to say that's not in the centre?
It's not in the centre.
What, you've looked around, there's no vomit?
There's never anything there. There is never anything there.
Okay, Matthew Smith, why are you grinning at that bit?
The notion of searching for paranormal vomits.
Yes.
Okay. But I thought the whole point about a lot of your paranormal investigations was that actually you do get strange smells.
Well, exactly, yes. No, smells, again, it's a strong sense people do have. So again, the fact that people are experiencing it, I don't find particularly unusual. What could explain it? It's always able to assess where smells could come from anyway. So whether it's actually paranormal or not.
What do you think about working in a building that is actually built on a graveyard?
I'm used to it now. I was shocked when I found out because I've seen and heard so many things, and I'm comfortable there, but not very happy.
But if you get new staff, for example, or new people come there and they find out it is on the site of a graveyard, what is their response?
They usually ask that question after they've heard and seen things.
Sorry?
They usually ask the question after they've heard and seen things, and then someone will say, well, you know it's built in a graveyard.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that. OK, let's go and find out what our historians are actually making of that. What do you make of tonight so far, first of all, Richard Felix?
Well, up to now, Derek's come up with a lot of stuff. Some of it we can't authenticate, unfortunately. I must be honest with you, the history corner goes out of the window a little bit when we're dealing with aliens, doesn't it? But
yeah, you're not rifling through your books going, oh yes,
no, we're
an
not.
alien there.
Certainly can't do that, no. But I'm impressed. We'll see what happens later.
OK, what about you?
It's been very interesting, yeah. I mean, he's come up with details of the battle, so picked up on the Battle of Clitheroe. As Richard said, there's names he's come up with we can't verify yet, but that doesn't mean to say that we're not going to keep working on them, and maybe tomorrow or Monday we will come up with the names.
Very true, very true. Let me just I just want to grab this microphone because I want to go and just check up on this automatic writing. Now, over here, right over in the corner, I know there's a lady who has been doing some automatic writing. Hi there.
Hi.
What's your name?
Laura.
Laura. Can I just see what you're drawing? Let me just bring it into the light. Now, have you ever done automatic drawing before?
I've done it once on one of the shows at home.
And you honestly believe that this isn't something that you're just drawing, that you think something... Tell me what you're feeling.
At the moment, I'm getting a very sad feeling from somebody. She's not very happy, and she's trying to tell me what she's not happy about.
And do you believe yourself to be psychic?
Not as in, like, psychic. I can see them, but I can hear them more.
What do you hear?
They can tell me names, sometimes dates, and they tell me how they're feeling. Sometimes, like, I'll get a word, like an emotion, sad, happy.
Now, you've written Robert.
Yeah.
Robert. The reason I say that's really, really interesting is because also, I'll just come back over here because I want to pick up on the historians as well. Let me just show you this as well whilst I come back. Now, this was sent in earlier by one of our viewers at home. If you can see that there. Okay, that is the name, that is the automatic writing of someone who is believed to be around our investigation. And the person who sent this in, which is from Lilith Bork, says that this name is Robert. Two Roberts. Robert. Who's Robert?
Robert de Lacy, who in fact was the chap that built the castle. The de Lacy family did. He died in 1194, which was around the time of the Crusades. He was stated to be a nobleman by the person that wrote that. He looks very much like a Norman knight. And of course, remember that in that period they went off to the Crusades. And did she not mention the Holy Land?
Yes.
She did, yeah. And a leper. I don't know what he died of. Perhaps he came back, perhaps he died of leprosy.
This programme gets stranger and stranger, but what will happen next? Find out after this break. Well, what a night. Welcome back. This is the world's largest live ghost hunt. This is Most Haunted Live, and so much has happened already. Now, we can join Yvette and the team, and they are now at the centre. So let me ask them, Yvette, what are your first impressions of the centre where you are?
Well, the Trinity Centre at the moment is it's a vast space. There are ropes hanging down here. It's very, very echoey, so we've all got to be very, very careful of sounds. Now, Derek, what are you picking up?
Well, as strange as it may sound, Ivy, I've just walking in now, I'm aware of the energies of not just one, but a number, maybe up to 3, most certainly more than one man. And I get this energies around me of my mind goes back to the Second World War times. And I'm aware of this very disciplined officer and officers. And I feel there's more than one of them. And I feel that their energies are around this atmosphere of this building at times. Now, whatever the connection is with this, I wouldn't know. But I feel as if, their energies are not just, in fleeting and out. I feel they're around quite often. Okay. And because of their energies, I feel you're going to experience probably a lot of noises, audibles, sounds, walking and what have you. And also what becomes very apparent to me now, I don't know if yourself or Kieran or anyone else is feeling this, I've got this feeling of recuperation, as if I'm weakened. Mm-hmm. I'm weakened. Now, whether they were here for restoration or whatever, but I feel as if they've got some kind of strong holding here. Okay. I'm also getting, on a deeper level of the residual energy, is no connection whatsoever to these officers, Second World War. I feel as I've got a group of young people, children, a lot of children, and I feel their energies are around this building at times.
Now, I just want to ask you, I want you to try and concentrate now and ask Sam to try and maybe pick up on the children or any connection with the children or any specific child, or can he give you a name of any of these children?
Okay, I'll try with Sam. Come on, Sam. Come on, don't let us down. You've heard Ivy talking. Can you furnish us with extra information? I feel the children have got a great connection with this area, and I feel these children would have, they wouldn't have gone from childhood into adult life. In other words, they lost their lives as children. Okay. And I feel tinged with that. I feel very saddened for some reason with these children. I don't feel as if one had left the physical body and then another. I feel we're talking about a group of children.
That's interesting. Well, I just want to know, because we've actually left David Wells and Carl in the last location in Church Brow, and I wondered, David, in the studio, if anything is happening in that particular location there.
Okay, Yvette. I just want to go and see what's going on now. I'm just watching David Wells on the monitor here, and he's with Carl. They're actually at Church Brow. What's happening, David?
Well, this has been really interesting for me, David, because it's something I haven't done an awful lot of. But what's happened is initially we did pick up on our small boy, and he's writing several things. He's writing Mummy. He asked me who it was. He wanted me to play some games with him. But then as I was trying to commune a little bit more with him, a heavier male energy came in. And I don't know if you can see here, but where the boy was writing Mummy, etc., this here. And then there's
David,
darker.
Can you hear me?
There's darker energy. Mm-hmm.
David, can you hear me? It's Yvette.
Hello, Yvette.
Do you feel that this little boy lost his life at a young age, and if so, how old?
I definitely think he was young. He seemed sort of around 5, maybe below 5, not much older than that.
Okay. All right. And his mummy has passed on?
He seemed to be searching for his mummy. He was quite a wistful mummy. It was quite a whiny one.
Are you picking up a name with this little boy?
There's one name that has written down now. I don't know if you can see it on the monitor, but he says Campbell. It seems to be a Campbell name. That's my handwriting underneath it, but at the top it seemed to say Campbell.
And are you feeling his presence there in the room? Are you and Carl experience anything? Is there a temperature drop?
When the little boy was writing, things seemed fairly normal, but then this negative male energy that put some very dark, heavy imprints on the page came on, and Carl in particular felt extremely cold during that.
Okay, all right. I'm just going to ask Derek now, when you were picking up on the children,
yes.
It's interesting because David and Carl have picked up on a little boy's energy
yes.
there, and
yes.
you mentioned before we went there that there were children. That's why I asked
yes.
you if
yes.
there was any specific child. Now, they've picked up on a child there
yes.
with a name, and that same child could be connected to this building. And it's interesting because you've already said, isn't that
yes.
right, Kieran? About,
yeah.
Are you picking up on, try and concentrate and see if you can try and get a name?
I am getting just a little bit more of the
Yeah.
impressions as you've been speaking there to Carl. I feel an extension of this now, and I feel as if there was a group of children and they weren't all naturally all together, but the way I feel about it is that these group of children, plain and simply, okay, I feel that they were taken, okay, away from, you know, their family link, or they went missing, and I feel it was because of either 1, 2, or even 3 people, and they, you know, they were taken, and I feel these children, quite plainly, and it sounds absolutely horrible, were just absolutely slaughtered in some kind of ritual.
Where do you think that happened?
It's close by. It's
So
close by.
So why are you picking up him being here?
Well, I feel for some reason, maybe before this building, well before this building, whatever was here, these children would have been, it's like hidden. I feel that they could have, in this vicinity here, had their life. I'm going to a graveyard as well here now.
Okay. That's interesting because I know David wants to say something. Go on, David, what have you picked up on?
Well, earlier today, I actually visited the location you're in now just to see what it was like, etc. And I picked up on a little boy down there. And I do think there's a connection between this little boy and the one down there. Now, he presented himself as a playful little child who was playing amongst children now down there. So he plays with children there.
Right. Okay, all right. And is it all right for me to mention this to Derek?
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah. David's just picking up on there is a connection with the little boy where the last location we went to.
Yeah.
And he's connected here with a group of children, and he was
Yes.
here earlier today, and he felt them playing together.
Yes, yes.
You pick up on that.
This is the end when I first walked in of the children here.
Right.
And I feel that there is actually, if I can mentally count, I feel in all we're talking about 7 or 8 children.
Okay.
And I feel they all found the same fate. The only way I can say it is as if they were taken away from their families. They went missing, so to speak.
What about the time period for this happening? When would you say? Because you mentioned the Second World War.
Yes.
With the soldiers. Is this a completely different time?
Yes,
When?
time altogether.
When would you say this happened? When were they murdered?
Okay, Sam, you'll have to help me with this, please. Between 1609 and 1612.
It would be good if we could get David and Derek independently to come up with at least some of the names
Okay.
to match.
I've got one name from David.
Okay.
That's why I'm waiting to see if anything will
Okay.
come from Derek.
Okay.
And that's interesting. I don't know whether David is picking up on a time or a date of when this little boy would have lost his life. David, if you can hear me.
I can hear you, Yvette. Yeah, the little boy that I have here, I think he would have lost it at 1800s.
Say again.
1800s, I think the mid 1800s.
Okay.
Arthur is one of these children.
Okay.
Arthur.
Arthur.
There's a little girl, Catherine. Megan. A little girl, Megan.
Well, what was over there then? Check it out in the corner, Kieran. I heard a noise like a creak over in the far right-hand corner. Anything?
No, there's just a storeroom in there. There's nobody in there.
I heard a creak over here, so I don't know what that was. I definitely heard something. Did anybody else hear anything? Okay, we're just going to stay here for a little bit. David Ball, it's back to you in the studio.
Lovely, thank you very much indeed. Well, I can tell you the phones have been going absolutely crazy. Gillian, what's going on over there?
Extraordinary night tonight. First of all, the first most haunted vote. 83% of you said yes, Derek did sense an alien. So that is the result of that vote. Thank you very much indeed for all your texts on that one. The webcams have been extremely busy this evening, and let's have a look at those. Just to quickly say, webcam 4's out of action at the moment, but it's been working most of the evening. Webcam 1, first of all, with over 1,500 sightings in the attic. We've been inundated with reports of green orbs hovering around the cookers, including sightings from Sally and Steve in the Oval. Webcam 2 and 3, over 3,000 people have gone into that, reporting shadowy figures and happenings going on there. The majority have seen a figure moving through the gym. And then webcam 4, obviously we can't see, but I will tell you several people there, including Amy and Emma from High Wycombe, believe that they've seen a tall figure by the door in the function room. More art, and here's something. Thank you very much indeed, Ian, for this. Saw this figure behind Derek whilst he was touching the wall in the castle. Similar picture, actually, let's put those next to each other there. Similar picture from Lydia in Birmingham. Okay, and final call, please, on our vote. The final Pendle Witches Coven. Where did it happen? We want you to vote, please, on the website. Let's go back to the map. Living TV's website, Most Haunted Live. Go to the website, click on the map there. 31,000 people have now clicked on that website, and we'll give the result a little bit later on. David, back to you.
Lovely, thank you very much indeed, Gillian. I thought those pictures were absolutely amazing, the fact that they look so similar. Well, it is time now for another break, but right after we'll have more from Trinity. We'll also reveal the results of the remote viewing experiment, and we'll be setting up our last experiment of the night. There is so much more to come, and all of it is after this break. Well, welcome back to an incredible night. Tonight really has been amazing. I just want to remind you of a few things that have happened. At Clitheroe Castle, which is where we started tonight's investigation, Derek picked up 3 cavaliers, 3 names. Charles Littlejohn, he also picked up Jonas Pentor and Henry McCain, a little boy disfigured with leprosy. Also, then in the church brow, Derek picked up an image, not of this earth, make of that what you will. And also David Wells picked up a young boy crying mummy, less than 5 years old. And again, that image is being picked up again in the Trinity Centre. So much has happened, and we have still another half hour to go. So let's cross over now to the Trinity Centre to see what's going on.
Top of our heads. And there's a light that's going to go down our left hand, okay, and over to our right. Kieran, while I'm doing this, do you want to explain what we're doing?
Yeah, this is
okay, so the light is going to go down
form
our
of
left
communication. Essentially what we're looking at is table tipping, or it
It's
could
moving.
turn.
It's
look
moving.
at this. It's got its roots in Victorian
Okay,
spiritualism.
move your fingers back. Move your fingers back right to the edge of the table. Keep your thumbs above so everybody can see that you're not pushing the table.
We've also got Joshua here, member of the public.
Okay.
You can be witnessing.
Fingers so light. Is there anybody here in this room with us? Yes. The table is moving. If there is somebody here in this room with us now, please can you move the table as a sign of yes? Please move the table as a sign of yes that there is somebody here in the room with us now. Please move the table as a sign of yes. Please move the table as a sign of yes that you can hear my voice. Is there any astral being here, any presence here that would like to make themselves known to us here in this building now? If you are unhappy in any way, please, we can try and help you. If you can give us a sign of yes by moving this table, we can talk to you. Can you please move this table now? please try very hard and move this table for us. Try and move it across the floor as a sign of yes, that you can hear my voice. Is there a male presence here in this room with us now? If you are male, please move the table as a sign of yes. Please move the table if you can hear my voice. If you are female and you wish to talk to us, if you are a lady or a girl, did it move then?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah. Are you a girl? Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Please give us a more definite sign. Please, can you try very hard and move the table more for me? Thank you. Please move again harder so we know it's definitely you. Thank you. You are a woman. If you are a woman, please move the table. Are you a girl?
Yes.
You're a young girl. Are you young? You are. Are you a little girl? You're a little girl. Okay. Are you picking up on anything, Derek?
Yeah, I am aware of a young girl's energies here, yeah.
Okay. You are. You're here for us. That's lovely. Do you need our help? If you need our help, please can you move...
Alison hit me.
Who?
Alison.
Alison?
Alison.
Alison, is that you? Please can you move the table more definitely, please, Alison? Alison, please move the table more for us. Thank you. Do you need our help, Alison? Do you need our help? I feel like there's something scratching under the table.
Yes, there is.
Alison, can you move this table more for us, sweetheart? Just move it more. Do you need our help? Please, if you need our help, you need to move the table more. Move it more for us, please. Okay, we can help you. There's a bell on the top of the table. Can you make it ring for us, Alison? Can you move the table? Make it move as quickly as you can, sweetheart, for us. Move the table. Keep moving it. Thank you. Did you die here? Did you die here, Alison? You did. Are you 5 years old, Alison? Are you 6? Are you 7? You're 7. Are you with your mummy? No. Do you want to be with your mummy? Can you move the table if you really want to be with your mummy, because we can help you? Move the table some more, Alison. Move the table some more if you want us to help you and get you to your mummy. We can do that. Are you frightened, Alison? Are you frightened?
Oh, she's answering. Oh. Bless her.
Can you take your hands off one at a time?
Yeah, if I start off, I'll ask a question.
Yes.
Alison, can you see us? Alison?
Take my hands off.
You're taking yours off, Derek.
Yes.
Alison, can you see us? Move the table, Alison, if you can see us. Can you hear me? Alison, can you hear me? What's that noise? What was that noise?
What did you hear, Eddie?
I don't know.
Was it the
It was a
webcam
webcam.
moving? Okay. Alison, are you still with us? If you are, please can you move the table? Please can you try and move this table for us some more? Are you still with us? Are you still with us?
Come on, darling.
Come forward, please don't be frightened. You can hear in my voice, I don't mean you any harm. We're just trying to talk to you. Hello?
Oh.
There you go. Do you need us to help you? Do you need us to help you, Alison? Okay. Do you know why you died? Do you know who killed you, Alison? Do you know who killed you, Alison? Is it moving? Yeah, it is.
Slightly, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Is it just you that's in the room with us now, Alison? Are there more of you here? Are there more children here? Are there any little boys with you, Alison? Little boys? Are they friends of yours, Alison? Were you all killed in the same way? Do you all need our help? Okay. Can you all try and move this table together? Can you all try and move this table together? Try and make it move more. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Good girl.
Okay.
Good girl.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alison. Can you see us, Alison? Can you see us? Okay. Are you around the table? Can you try and touch one of us, Alison? Can you try and touch one of us? No.
No.
No. Okay. Alison, I'm going to ask you, when do you know when you died? Do you know what year it was when you died? You do. Did you die in the 1600s? You died in the 1600s. Was it one person that killed you? No. Did you die of an illness? Did you die of an illness? Were you poorly? Is that a yes, Alison? Were you all poorly? No?
No.
They were killed, weren't they?
Yeah.
Alison, please, can you move the table? Were you killed?
That is absolutely fascinating stuff going on there. Thank you very much. I do want to ask now, though, that Yvette and Derek to make their way back to the studio. And whilst they do that, we'll take a short break. Welcome back to Most Haunted Live, an incredible night. Let's just run over some of the facts as they stand. I just want to go back to the Trinity Centre, which is where we were actually just before the break. Now, Derek picked up this little boy. They've obviously just done the table tipping. And this boy apparently lost his life, according to you, David Wells, in the mid-1800s. And also, in the table tipping, they picked up this name, Alison, age 7. She knows why she died. She died in the 1600s. David Wells, firstly, let's just talk about the boy who died in the mid-1800s. What did you actually feel?
Well, I just felt... Actually, it's a sadness. He just felt quite desolate, quite lonely. And certainly where they are now, he was joining in with the kids who were there. That's a sheer joy for him. He was actually joining in amongst those kids playing with him.
And you mentioned that he died in the mid-1800s. Richard Jones, when did he die that we think of?
1852.
1852, that's pretty
middle.
mid-1800s. Excellent. And what about Alison? This Alison, what do you make of what was going on with the table tipping?
I didn't pick up on Alison, so I can't really comment on it, but table tipping I found is just fascinating.
Table tipping, Matthew?
The table tipping is a good way of trying to, either the way Kieran described it, supposed to communicate, or at least to try and get some kind of physical effects. I know that the crew and the team have been doing it quite a lot as part of the series, so I think it's a good opportunity to try that, and we were seeing things. I'm not convinced that it wasn't at least one or more of the people there causing the very slight movements, and I personally don't believe it's communicating with spirits, but I think it's just an interesting way of trying it.
Well, we'll ask them when they come back. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, Yvette and Derek are making their way back here to the studio, but meanwhile, it is time for us to set up the last experiment of the evening. Now, as we've seen at Trinity Centre, it's turning out to be very paranormally active. So what we want to do now is to monitor the situation overnight. So what we've done is we've asked Kieran to set up some overnight experiments. Okay, so Kieran, what are you actually going to be setting up?
Hi, David. Well, the first thing is I've got trigger objects here on a table. I'm going to be setting up an MP3 recorder to pick up EVP and also an MP4 that will continuously film the trigger objects throughout the night. We've got a Polaroid camera on a timer which will be pointed at the ropes together with a video camera here which will be pointed at the ropes to see if there's any movement. I'm the only one with the keys to these doors, and later on I'm going to be sealing those doors when I've switched everything on, so nobody will get in here. I'll be the only one with the keys.
Now, you would hope that with all that kit in there that you would pick something up if there is a paranormal presence there.
Yes, definitely. If there's something here, then we'll pick it up. What I might even do is also set up an EMF meter on continuous record throughout the evening as well.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, Kieran. Now, Julian, how can people at home get involved with this?
Right, well, just to say we're going to be keeping a keen eye on that, and tomorrow night on the programme we'll report back on what Kieran was setting up there. I ought to say thank you so much tonight, such an extraordinary response on this. And first of all, the clicking on the map to tell us where we're going to be tomorrow night. Where was that last Pendle Witches' Coven? Where did it happen? We asked you through the evening to go to the map. Here it is on the website. 40,000 people have gone on the website and clicked on this website. So where is it? Let's find out. And there we are. There it goes, coming in there. So that is the sign. Now, let me just check my notes here. Now, we reckon that's obviously on the south side of the hill, quite near to Sabden. So our team will be checking that out tomorrow night as we investigate. So that's going to be very interesting. Already reaction coming in on the table tipping. Mel from Dorset reports a ghostly figure of a young girl standing by the table. She looked very dark, and when the crew entered, she faded away and returned again and looked upset. And a strange black shape was seen by Sarah of Rawcliffe behind the table near the Warnute, and it wasn't the crew, she says. And one more on that. Chris from Dinnington says Alison went quiet during the table tipping due to a large male figure of authority stood behind Derek watching over him. So similar to that last message. The competition, the answer, by the way, was Edinburgh. That's not been a Most Haunted live location. The winners' names will scroll along the bottom of the screen, so congratulations, walking off with the DVD and the fleece. We'll try it all again tomorrow night. Thank you so much. David, back to you.
Thank you very much. Matthew, very quickly, what do you make of the result that we've actually looked at where people have put that there, clicked on the map, and that is where we are going to go?
Well, again, I suppose if you have, 30-odd thousand responses, then it's interesting to see this. I assume it's been a summarised.
It's a very large sample size, isn't it?
Yeah, and I assume that not everybody chose that spot. I assume they're all
Sure.
over the place, but maybe that's where there's some clustering, which is what you'd expect with that large number of it. We'll see tomorrow night to see whether or not we pick up anything in that particular location.
We will see tomorrow night. Thank you for the moment. And thank you also, Julian, to you and all your interactive team as well
Yes,
for all your sterling work tonight. Thank you very much. Indeed. OK, well, it gives me very great pleasure now to say please give a big Most Haunted cheer for our frontline troops in the battle against scepticism. They're back from the trenches. Oh, it could only be Yvette Fielding and Derek Acora.
Hello.
I don't. Okay.
Well, you've really done it this time.
I know.
Come on then. Alien, something you picked up. Basically, you said an image that is not of this earth.
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, David, for the first time ever in my mediumship, any investigations, I was rocked. Purely simply, we'd heard a very large noise in a door, to a door. We walked in, and there, for a matter of seconds, maybe 7, 8, 9 seconds, I saw this being, standing looking at me.
And you're convinced about this?
Oh, beyond convinced, David. I categorically, clearly experienced seeing something I've never seen before, ever in this lifetime.
And 83% of our audience actually agree with you. We asked them to text in yes or no whether they believed you had actually seen something. Now, David Wells, you said at the time that Derek was picking up a grey being. Is that what you called it?
They're called greys. Yeah, it sounded like a grey to me.
So you're not at all surprised by what Derek's picked up?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I trust Derek implicitly on this one. Yeah, definitely. And as I said before, it's a very brave thing to say. Very brave thing to say.
And I do want to just move on from that. And of course, the other things you picked up, these 3 Cavaliers. You mentioned 3 names as well. Yeah. The Cavaliers were there, so that's accurate. The 3 names we can't corroborate, but Richard Felix actually had a very good point, which is you can't win. If you actually did come up with the names, then we'd say you looked in a book. And if you don't, and if we could actually say those names existed, but since we can't corroborate them, doesn't mean that you're not right.
Right, okay.
So we can't actually tell you that. But also this whole thing about the little boy as well, and David picked up the same boy, and absolutely the date when he is said to have died.
Yeah, I mean, that was fascinating for me to actually have Derek standing next to me saying about children, and then, of course, hearing in my ear, I couldn't see you, but saying that you'd also picked up on a little boy as well. And the children, the whole theme dream sort of stayed with us, because then of course we went into the next room and did the table tipping, which of course you've closed down now.
Yes.
And it's helped the children.
Yeah.
Matthew said you may have moved the table.
What?
Matthew says you may have moved. Yeah, that's what you said.
I didn't actually say that, David. What I said was...
That's what I thought you said.
What I was saying is I don't think at any point that we had it so that all, everybody had actually... We were not expecting the table to move when all the hands were off the table. But ideally, at any one time, we want people to take all the hands off. I don't think at any time there that everyone had taken the hands off when the table was moving. So it's again, as I said to Yvette before, I think it's a good opportunity to do that kind of table tilting over a long period of time when the same group can do it again and again.
I totally agree.
And there is evidence to suggest that under those conditions, which aren't strictly controlled, that people are able to create this kind of physical effect. Again, it's another step of the interpretation to say you're actually communicating with spirits. It's one interpretation, but at least you're getting some kind of physical effects rather than
we're actually finding with our investigations, aren't we, because we're using the same people, and especially with table tipping and seancing and doing the glass, that we are getting movement, and all I can say is all we can do is trust one another implicitly.
Absolutely. Can I just ask something which a lot of people do ask me, and I know our audience at home are asking? Is any of this made up?
None whatsoever.
No, absolutely
None.
not.
I just have to clarify.
No, absolutely nothing is made up. It's all 100% truth, and we're doing it, because we find the subject so fascinating. And what's the point in doing it if you cheat? There isn't any point.
The more you've done, though, Yvette, and you've done this for some time now, this Most Haunted Live is now 2 years old, but how have you changed in your view? Are you now frightened of the sort of things that you're now picking up?
I find that I am becoming more, and I am becoming more and more freaked out and frightened because of the things that I've experienced, the things that I have seen. I've heard whispers in my ear, and sometimes I go home and I think, I'm going mad, I am going to go mad. But then you get our sound recorders saying, no, actually, we've caught stuff on tape. We've caught the sounds that you've heard. And to me, it does frighten me, because I think, actually, we really could be, communicating with dead people.
Derek, very quickly, should Yvette be comforted by that or frightened by that?
I would say more comforted rather than frightened. I don't feel any spirit, individual, or even this being that we saw this evening. We're here intentionally to hurt any of us. It's a response. We're asking them, and they're trying to respond.
And I felt that tug on the back of my coat.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, tonight has been an amazing night, and let's just have a quick look at some of the most fascinating moments so far. Please welcome Yvette Fielding, Derek Okora, and Kieran O'Keefe.
Oh, God. His face and his arms.
Tell me,
God. What is that, Sam? To suddenly see the feelings, and he's doing this with his hands. Why is this happening to me?
How many people lived and died on that site that we will have no record of at all, but we have now?
Over 3,000 sightings on the webcams already, which is brilliant.
Alex! Oh, God. Oh, my God. What? There's an energy in this room that is not of this earth. The only way I can say it is like alien. Did you feel that?
Oh!
Are you okay?
Something just tugged the back of my coat.
I think she's had an experience. I think, again, as I often do say, what we're looking at is how people interpret these experiences.
Can you all try and move this table together? Can you all try and move this table together? Try and make it move more? Okay.
Well, tell me, go on, what are you saying about that?
Because of course I can't see it, but I don't know if our audience saw it, but a tiny little light come back on the table, went across the table.
We're going to have a look back at that and review it over the next couple of nights. But what are your feelings now, having seen that bag? Because obviously it's different when you watch it, isn't it, to experiencing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's just see if we can see that light. Where is this light?
Can you all try and move this
Top
table
left.
together? Can you all try and move this table
There.
together?
What's that?
It's a fly.
There's only one thing fly around here.
That's a lovely comment. Closing comments from you, though, Matthew. A good start tonight?
Very good start, yeah. Again, it never ceases to amaze me that we do get lots of things happening, lots of different people experiencing things. Of course, Derek often, apparently, picking up names and stuff. Sometimes we can look back at that. Again, we've got another 2 nights, so there's plenty more opportunity to examine some of the evidence we've already got from tonight and see what we pick up tomorrow night and the night after.
I like that. There is plenty
And tomorrow
more
night, of course,
opportunity.
is Halloween.
And
so-
tomorrow is Halloween. And I just want to say thank you so much to all of you. Thank you to everyone involved tonight. Thank you indeed to Julian and his interactive team. Thank you to our experts, of course, Matthew Smith and David Wells. Also historians, also Derek Akora and Yvette Fielding. And of course, you, the audience at home. We couldn't do this show without you. Now, sadly, the time has come for us to take our leave of you this evening. Don't forget, you can monitor what's happening in the gym. We'll be showing you what goes on in the gym tomorrow. And of course, let us know what you have experienced tonight as well. It's been an incredible night. You can also keep looking at our website, and we'll be looking at all of the results tomorrow, as well as lifting the lid on Lancashire's most famous practitioners of the dark arts, the legendary Lancashire Witches story. Now also tomorrow, we'll also be doing all of the stuff that you'd expect on the most paranormally significant night of the year. It's Halloween, so expect a night beyond expectations. From all of us, good night.